Okay, do you have any question from any question? You have any question? So I will post another homework today for section because we are finishing section 6.6, section 6, chapter 6. So I'll post a quiz maybe by the end of the day or tomorrow. I'll let you know. Okay, so today we're looking at the applications of polynomial equations. The applications of polynomial equations. So solve applications model by polynomial equations. So when you're given a statement, a very long statement, to solve an equation, then these are the steps on how to do it. First of all, you do what? You read the problem. The next one, you identify what we are looking for. The third one, name what you are looking for. The fourth one, translate into an equation. The fifth one, solve the equation using the appropriate algebra technique. Sixth one, check the answer in the problem. Make sure it makes sense. Then the last one there is answer the question with complete sentence. So I've given you some of the handouts there. The solutions are also in Moodle, so you can still check them. So the first question. So the first question says, Julie is going to launch a model rocket in her backyard. When she launches the rocket, the function h of t equals to minus 16t squared plus 32t models the height, which is h of the rocket, above the ground as a function of t, which is the time. Find the zero of this function that tells us when the rocket will hit the ground after it is launched. So the first step is you read the problem. So you read the problem, then identify what we are looking for. So what are we looking for there? So we're looking for the zero of the function that tells us when the rocket will be what? Will hit the ground. So we're looking for that. So and then the next step is name what we are looking for. So this function, we have h of t equals to minus 16t squared plus 32t. Okay. So we are told find the zero of this function. So the zero of the function that tells us when the rocket will hit the ground. So what is the zero of that function? So that means this is 0 equals what? Minus 16t squared plus what? That's 2t. Now, you now factorize. Huh? So what you do first, you look for the greatest factor. So what is our greatest factor there? 16 what? 16t, right? 16t. Then we have here minus t plus what? Plus 2 is equals to what? Is equals to 0. Is equals to 0. Okay. So then we now use the product, the zero product rule that we use. So therefore, 16t is equals to what? 0. Okay. And then minus t plus 2 is equals to what? Or minus t plus 2 is equals to 0. So then t here will be equals to what? 0. Or t there would be equals to what? Would be equals to 2. T would be equals to 2. So that one is step number. Solve the equation using the appropriate algebra technique. So that one is step number 5. And step number 6 is check the answer in the problem. Make sure it makes sense. Now, when you come and check the answer here, so if you put t to be equals to 0 in the second, let's say this one is the first equation and this one is the second. So if you put t equals to 0 there, it will give you what? 0. If you put t to be equals to 2, so if you put 2 here, so it will be 16 times 4, and then 32 times 2. When you add, then it will give you 0. So, and then step number 7, answer the question with a complete sentence. Now, with a complete sentence, so what you say is, at time t equals to 0. So you can say at t equals to 0, the rocket just landed. Okay. At time t equals to 0, rocket just landed. Then also, so the rocket will hit the ground after t equals to 2. So the rocket will hit the ground. Rocket will hit the ground at t equals to 2. So the rocket will hit the ground at t equals to 2. So you must follow the steps there. So the questions in the module or in the Newton will guide you on how to get it. But mostly in Newton, I think what they're looking for is maybe t, so the values of t. So you just solve the values of t. So t equals to 0, t equals to 2. But when it comes to the exam, you might have to follow these steps. Right. Example number 2. Someone can read for us.
Someone to read it?
Yeah.
Deanna is going to throw a ball from the top floor of the middle school. When she throws the ball 48 feet above the ground, the function ht equals negative 16t squared plus 32t plus 48. Models the height h of the ball above the ground as a function of time t. Find the times the ball will be 40 feet above the ground.
Right. So how will you solve that? How can we solve that? So the first step, read the problem. So we have read the problem. The next one, Identify what we are looking for. What are we looking for? Find the times the ball will be what? 48 feet above the what? The ground. So here we have h of t equals to minus 16t squared plus 32t plus 48. So this h here is a function of what? Function of time. So that one is h is the what? Is the height. So the height, so we have that statement over there, which it says when she throws a ball for 48 feet above the ground. So h there will be what? ht will be what? Now you say 48 equals to minus 16t squared plus 32t plus what? Okay. Then now we are looking for the times. So what is t? What are t? So from there, then you solve. So we have 48 here, and then we have 48 there. So that would be what? 0. So what remains is minus 16t squared plus 32t equals to what? Equals to. So it's the same as the first one over there. So you factor out 16 t. So you can factor out 16t. So you get minus t plus 2 equals to what? Equals to 0. So t equals to 0 or minus t plus 2 equals to 0. So t equals to what? Equals to. Now we have the time there. T equals to 0 and t equals to 2. So the only issue here is how to factorize. How should you factorize? So you need to understand the question. What is it asking? So you need to identify what we are looking for. And then you check whether the problem is making any sense. All right, example number 3. So Destiny can read for us. Okay, so what are we looking for there? So we identify what you're looking for. At what time will the ball reach the height of what? 64 feet. At what time will the ball reach the height of 64 feet? So the function is h of t equals to minus 16t squared plus 48t plus 35. So what will be the time when the height is 64? So what will be the time when the height is 64? So h of t there is what? 61. 64. So now 64 equals to minus 16t squared plus 48t plus what? Plus 32. Now, you can take 64 to the other side. So what will remain? So minus 16t squared plus 48t minus what? Minus 32 equals what? Equals to 0. So because you take the 64 over here, so this is plus 64. When you take it over there, it will be minus 64 there. Okay. So 32 minus 64 is what? It's 32 equals to 0. Then now you can do what? What do you do? What is the next step? So you look for the greatest common factor. So what is our greatest common factor there? What is the greatest common factor? So when you divide 48 by, so what is our greatest common factor? Said 16? 16, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can factor out, what you can do here, you can factor out minus what? Minus 16. So you can factor out minus 16 there. So minus 16 there. So when you factor out minus 16, it gives here t squared minus what? Minus what? 3. This one is 3 t, right? And then plus what? Plus 2 equals to 0. Equals to 0. Then now, here, so you identify, so you using step number 5, solve the equation using the appropriate algebra technique. So here, t squared minus 3t plus 2. So how can we factorize that? We can use the what? You can use the AC method. So the product is, AC is what? AC equals to 2, right? And then B equals to minus 3. So what are the two numbers in which the product is 2 and the sum is minus 3? So -1 and -1, 2, right? So we have, so you must take the 16 there, 16 minus 16. So we have t squared minus 2t minus t plus what? Plus 2 equals to 0. Okay, so minus 16 outside. You now factorize this. So you put out the common factor there, which is t. T minus 2, then minus 1, okay? Is that right? Then t minus 2 equals to what? Equals to 0. Are we together there? So minus 16, then we get a common factor there, which is t minus 2. Then the next one is what? T minus 1 equals to 0. Now, so you can divide everywhere here by minus 16, minus 16. So what do you get? What remains is minus 2t, t minus 1 equals to what? Now, using the zero product property, so t minus 2 equals to 0, or t minus 1 equals to 0. So t equals to 2, or t equals to 1. So now we have the time there, t equals to 2, and t equals to 1. Okay. That's clear? All right. Let's come to number 4. In number 3 in sentence form. So here you just write, you can just write t equals to 1 and 2. Then you put it like that.
So you don't think that's to write out.
You don't have to write this because if there was some minus there, then what you do is you just ignore the minus because you cannot have the minus t. So you just write there, ignore that or discard the minus, and then you write the positive there as t equals to 2. Okay, but these are positive. So the time it can take 60. The time that can take for the ball to reach 64 feet can be 1 and 2. So it can be 1 and 2. So you can just repeat the statement there. At what time will the ball reach the height of 64 feet? So you can say the time that can reach the height of 64 feet is 1 or 2.
For quizzes or exams, you have to write it out.
Yeah, in the exam you can write it like that. Or you can just write it like this. But if it is a minus, then you need to explain what you would do to the minus. Yeah. I think there is one of the questions in your homework. I think I saw something like that in the homework. All right, so let's come to question number 4. William, read for us question number 4.
Product of two separate integers is 1 and 5. 5 integers, each pair of numbers in parentheses is separated by a comma. Also separate each pair of parentheses by a comma.
So this question is in your homework. Those who have done the homework, but I saw no one has done the homework. So the product of two consecutive, I think the one in your homework is even. So the product of two consecutive odd numbers, odd integers, is 195. Find the integer list each pair of the numbers in parentheses. That is just the statement, that how you do it. Also separate each pair of parentheses by a comma. I just got it from your homework. So find the two numbers in which the two consecutive. So what is the problem there? So we're looking for two odd numbers, right? So we're looking for two odd numbers. Now, so you identify the problem. So you can let the first odd number to be n. Okay. So that's the first odd number. The first one. So what will be the second one? So we always know that if you start from the lowest odd number, the lowest odd number is what? 1, right? So what do you do to get the next odd number? You add what? 2, right? So 1 plus 2 is what? 3. Okay. So what do you do to the next to get the next odd number? So 3 plus what? 2. So that means the next odd number there is n plus what? Plus 2. N plus 2. So, and it says the product of two odd numbers. So our statement, so steps are: read the problem, identify what you are looking for. So we identify what you're looking for. You're looking for the two odd numbers. And then number 3, name what you're looking for. We name them n plus 2. And then translate into an equation. Now translate that one into an equation. So our equation will be what? The product, right? So the product is n times what? N plus 2 is equals to what? 195. Then translate and then solve the equation using the appropriate techniques. Now solve the equation. So here, when you open the bracket, then it will be n squared plus 2n equals to what? 195. So you can bring 195 to this side. So n squared plus 2n minus 195 is equals to 0. So there, we can use the AC method. So the product is 190 minus 1, and so AC equals to minus 195. And then B equals to 2. So what are the two numbers in which the product is 105 and the sum is 2? So what are the two numbers? So I got 15 and 13. So when you say 15 times 13 is what? 195. So the two numbers are 15 and 13. Now we want to get the sum as positive 2. So which one would be minus? 13, right? So 13 will be the minus there. So then our equation will be n squared minus 13n plus 15n minus what? 195 equals to 0. So you factorize. So when you factorize that, then you factor out n. So n minus 13 plus 15 n minus 13 equals to what? Equals to 0. Okay. So what are the factors? So we have n plus 15 and what? N minus 13 equals to what? Equals to 0. So using the 0 property, then n plus 15 equals to 0, or n minus 13 equals to 0. So we have n equals to minus 15, or n equals to what? 13. So are those the two consecutive numbers? Are you sure? So one of them is minus 15, and the other one is 13. They are not consecutive. The other one is on the negative side. The other one is on the positive side. So what is our next consecutive number? So when we have n equals to 15, and then we have n equals to 13. So what is our next consecutive number here? So what is our next consecutive number there? So we had n plus 2 as our next number, and we have n as minus 15. So our next number there will be what? So it will be minus 15 plus what? Plus 2, which is equals to what? Negative 13. So what is our next consecutive number there? So n plus 2. So our n here is 13. So 13 plus what? 2. So our next odd number there will be what? So the two numbers there will be, so we have minus 13 and what? And 15 and minus 15. And also we have 13 and 15. So those are our consecutive numbers. Those are our consecutive numbers. So if it is an even, so if you're told there is a question in I think in the book where it says find the two consecutive number in which the two or even numbers, integers in which the product is certain number. So if it is even, it's the same thing. So if it is even, then the first number is n, okay? And then the second number will be what? So if the least even number is what? 2, right? So the next one will be 4. So what do you do to do 2? You add 2. So that means the next one is what? N plus 2. So the same equation. So it will be n plus 2 equals to what you're given, the product. So you look for the values of n. So using the same step. All right, so we can do number I have another question here which you don't know it's over there. Mine is number 6. Say if you can see this. Are you able to see that? Number 6. Is it clear? Yeah. So it says a reflecting pool is shaped like a right triangle with one leg along the wall of the building. The hypotenuse is 9 feet longer than the side along the building. That side is 7 feet longer than the side along the building. Find the length of the 3 sides of the reflecting pool. So we have, so let me do it again. So we have something like this. So this is a right angle triangle. So we have the x plus 9 there, x plus 7 over there, and then we have the x there. So find the value of x. So which method can we use? So this is a right angle triangle. So what are we going to use? We use the diameter. Yeah. So we said, let's say this is the side A, this is the side B, and this is the hypotenuse C. Okay. So using the Pythagoras theorem, then A square plus B square equals to what? C square. So we have here A as x, so x square plus B as x plus 7, so x plus 7 square there equals what? C, which is x plus 9 square. plus 9 squared. Now you open the brackets. So x squared plus, so x plus 7 squared is what?
Where, that's 42.
So we have x squared plus what? 14 what? X plus what? 49, right? Equals to x squared plus what? 18x plus what? 81, right? You know how to open the squares? So how to do this is you can do like this. So x plus 7, x plus 7. So that is the what? Square. So you can take this one as x plus 7 plus 7, x plus what? Plus 7. Then you open the brackets. So this and this, you get x squared plus this and this, you get 7x plus this and this, you get 7x. This and this, you get what? 41, 49. So this and this is what? X squared plus what? 14x plus 49. Okay? So it's the same thing here. So we have this. So it's the same thing for x plus 9. Okay. Now we collect the like terms. So we have the square here, the square here, and the square here. So this and this will be what? 2x, right? 2x squared. And then we bring this on to the other side. Will be what? Minus. So what will remain? X squared. Okay, we have 14 here, x. Then we have 18 here. So we bring the 18 over there. So what will remain? Negative 4x. We have 49 here, and then we have 81 here. So we bring it over there. So what will remain? 49 minus 81 is what? Negative what? 32. Equals to what? Equals to. So we have a quadratic equation there. So we get the values of x. So what is the value? What are the values of x? So the product is 32. The sum is 4. What are the two numbers?
4, 8.
What are the two numbers? 4 and 1? 8. So it will be what? Which one will be negative? 8. So we have x squared minus 4, so plus 4x minus 8x minus 32 equals to 0. So we factor out x, so x plus 4, then minus 8x plus 4 equals to what? Equals to 0. So we have x minus 8, x plus 4 equals to 0. So using the zero property, so we have x minus 8 equals to 0, or x plus 4 equals to 0. So finally we have x equals to 8, or x equals to minus 4. Now we are looking for the height. We are looking for x. So which one should we choose over there?
I think the positive one.
Yes, because x should be what?
Positive.
Positive. So we take x to be 8. So we take x to be 8. So our question there will be, so we had that this was x, this is x plus 7, then this is x plus 9. So we have this one as 8, this one as what? 15, right? And this one as what? 17. So 8, 15, 17. Okay. So as long as you follow the steps of solving the equation, then you will be good. Valos, Benjamin, Gregory, yo Gregory, yo, Ashley, Victoria, Rachel, yo Rachel who? Huh? Malone, yo Rachel who? Rachel who? Okay. Bailey, Laura, Adam, Kaveh, Andrew, Destiny, Cole, Abby, Aliyah, Aldo, Rachel, Malone, Jillian, Remington, Midon, Rail, yeah, Rayleigh,
I'm Bailey.
Bailey who? Cox? Oh, okay. Rayleigh, Eric, Kayla, Relay, Rock, Thompson, Samuel, all right. See you guys. Make sure you do your homework. I saw one of the homework is due by today, 6:40.